Alright, this is the Polaris power pole. I have had it now for about 10 years, and I've been fantasizing about getting it running. I actually ran it a few years ago with just a piece of fuel line with some mixed gas in it, chainsaw fuel. But that was just to see whether I could get the motor to start or not, and it did start and run successfully on the fuel that was in the line. Now, what I've done today is I've been planning to run it for an extended period of time. We have some pretty deep snow outside. I don't know how it's going to handle it, but I looked this thing over carefully, and the original fuel tank, which goes down here, was full of rust, and it had a crack in it, and I didn't feel that it was safe to operate. So what I did was I replaced the original fuel tank with this small bottle of type 2 plastic high density polyethylene, and I put a model airplane type fuel stopper in the end of it with a fuel pickup system and a short piece of hose connected over to the carburetor, and fastened that in place with some cable ties. Should give me about 4 ounces of fuel, just to give it a test run and see how well it holds up to the snow that's outside right now. But I also had some concerns about the gearbox over here that sits between the engine and the impeller stage, and I noticed that it had one, and here's the second one, 2 screws on it that appear to be a fill and a drain screw for the gearbox. I pulled them out and turned the thing over and stuck a can underneath, and absolutely nothing came out. So it looks like this thing hasn't been used in a long time. It looks like the gearbox was totally dry. And typically when you have a gearbox like this, what you do is you take off the fill plug and the drain plug, and you drain out the you drain out the oil from the drain plug, and then you refill it from the fill port until the oil starts to come out the drain plug. And even though I couldn't get any oil to come out of the gearbox, I did refill it with a Supertech Synthetic Blend 7590 transmission lube. I figured if it's good enough for the manual transmission in the Matrix, it's probably good enough for this little piece of power equipment, just to keep the gears and the bearings from eating themselves. So I'm going to mix up a little batch here of about 4 ounces of fuel. The sticker requires, let's see, a third of a pint, which would be about 5 ounces, to a gallon of gas. Works out to about a 25 to 1 fuel to oil ratio. And then we're going to see if we can get this thing to blow some snow.